Alright, let's see. Going into Tomb of the Spider Queen, let's see what we got. Ragnaros, Kael'thas, Sonya, Rhaegar, and Arthas, ETC, Li Ming, Vala, Li Ming, and Li Ming, Brightwing. Alright, immediate thoughts. Let's see. I believe that the red team has much better lane sustain and lane control with Ragnaros, Sonya, and Arthas. ETC, he's going to be a powerhouse. Assuming he goes Mosh Pit, he's going to set up some really big dives and damage dumps from Li Ming and Vala. Kael'thas, he needs to focus on make sure he's getting his stacks. And from the beginning, we have a Vala leaving the match. Hopefully they come back. That would be a little more than disappointing to jump into this, and I'd probably change games, but we shall see. Let's see how the initial teams are picking their talents. We have Brightwing going with Dream Shot, going damage. Interesting. Power Hungry. Eager Adventurer. Nope. Shifting Meteor, Convection, Attacks Heal, Colossal Totem, and Block or Rhyme for Arthas. Arthas sitting up top lane by himself, not committing to the 5v5 up front. Vala is still not back, so that's fine for the red team, though they don't know it. Kael'thas hitting the stacks early. Rhaegar tossing down the totem, not quite sure what he was hoping to get from that. Arthas joining from a flank, going after that Brightwing, waiting for the spell shield. It's gone, and he's in, slowing her down, but not able to get much from it. He's not too strong early game, but he can definitely spec that way, but with the Rhyme pick, it doesn't seem like he's going to be going the damage route. So we got Sonya peeling off. She'll be dealing with the ETC at the moment, which she should win that between damage and her own sustain. He's going to have a problem, though, with his guitar solo. He'll be able to mitigate some of that damage as long as he's until about level 7 when Sonya picks the poison spear. My assumption, of course. Arthas getting that free soak up top, free gems. Blue team not doing anything to deal with this double support. I'm not sure how that works out in this patch, but since Blizzard has done the work to remove double support as being a thing, I'm not quite sure I like this draft going into this match. So Arthas again, just grab the gems. Come on, Arthas. He's just missed four different gems that he could have picked up. That's not a good sign. That's not what you want right now. I mean, they're down 2 now, so they could have been up 2 at this point. They are soaking just slightly better than the blue team, so having about a 20% level lead. ETC getting the slide under the towers. No self-sustain for Sonya, and getting beaten up a little bit. Vala is back, so now we have a true 5v5 going on. Lily finally making a way up there to deal with Arthas, but she's not going to be too successful. She doesn't do a ton of damage. She'll be annoying for sure. The Serpent being able to heal her back up a little bit. And then, of course, she's just got great heals early game, so especially for a one-on-one. Rag and Kael'thas doing their best to deal with this 3-man pressure. But they seem like they're holding it up pretty well. Vala coming up. No, Vala's not coming up. We've got 12 gems turned on one side, 30 unturned in on the blue side. None turned in by the blue team quite yet. Kael'thas being quite aggressive getting those convection stacks, sitting at 10 so far. Are they not picking up the gems? Oh, those are the blue ones. My bad. I'm getting confused myself. Okay, so that's why Arthas didn't pick those up, so that's fine. That's all good. Total gem stacks 37, 38 to about 42, so it's still real close, but with the red team sitting on the same amount as the blue team. And blue team get another turn in. ETC going in over here. Vala and Li Ming should confirm 1. There goes the Kael'thas. Oh, and there goes his stacks as well. Where was he at? He did not complete his quest, so that's not good. he was sitting at half of the quest done complete, but apparently they moved in, the blue team moved in on him and took him out. So, red team, oh no, Rhaegar, get out of there! Rhaegar, by the skin of his wolf hide, able to mount up and get out of there. Ragnaros doing just fine, and as I'm completely surprised by this, but the red team has given up lane control entirely and the level lead, sitting about almost a full level behind, maybe 80% behind the blue team. Blue team also getting the first web reaver turned, and these lanes are pushed in. Oh, nice vault by the Vala to get away from that route from Arthas, excuse me. Night Camp gather to help deal with that web reaver push, but you know what, you need some people around them, so good thing Rhaegar Kael'thas is here. So here we go, seeing what they can do to defend against this web reaver, and Kael'thas is not in a good spot, probably going to lose those stacks. Oh, and he gets away just barely, but he's now unable to help defend against this web reaver, and this Night Camp is definitely helping, but Rhaegar is no help whatsoever to help deal with that. So the bottom web reaver is taking the front walls and making quick work of this fort with Vala and Brightwing there to help. Sonya re-rotates back down to mid to help take care of that web reaver, but again, that front wall and towers are gone. That well is also taking significant amount of damage. In the top lane, well, it got some damage on the towers, and that's about it. Blue team coming in full force with the almost half health web reaver, and that Kael'thas risking, how many stacks was he risking? He was risking 6 of his stacks, and he walks right into the web reaver's wave attack, resetting everything and dropping 3 gems for his team, or for the blue team. That is most unfortunate and not all what you want to be. 2 levels down, 6 minutes in. Oh boy, this is starting to get a little bit out of hand, seeing as this keep wall and towers is almost gone. That could be bad, and it's on the bottom lane, so if the blue teamer is able to capture the giants as well as make a play for turning in, they have, the world is their oyster. They almost have enough to have control of the entire map. Things are tilting in their favor, but it's not quite gone yet. Not quite gone yet. So blue team being quite aggressive, just pushing in here, using that 3-level advantage. Red team kind of just sitting under their base, trying to do what they can, but they're prevented from soaking. Sonya doing the best she can by herself, but ETC is going to go up and cause some pressure and some trouble, slowing her down from pushing out that wave, or pushing out that lane. Li Ming coming back mid, grabs some soak, keeping that 2-level lead, even building on it a little bit. Li Ming going with the laser beam down the lane, kind of just exposing herself to a whole bunch of damage. Ultimates for the blue team: Blink, Heal, Disintegrate, Rain of Vengeance, Water Dragon, and Mosh Pit. All pretty standard fare. Yeah. The Disintegrate, actually, you know what, I don't think that's quite the one that a lot of people use anymore. A lot of people like the Wave of Force. Oh, and a 3-man mosh, a beautiful cleanse coming out from Rhaegar, but that is still 2 members down. One of their lane sustains, and Kael'thas once again having his stacks reset. This is not good, and for having just called in their web reavers, the red team is now at a drastic disadvantage to try and make something from this. They will push out that bottom lane really well, but that Ragnaros is in for a world of hurt and almost taken out. But that mid web reaver gets maybe a tower, but that's it. The bottom web reaver probably just being able to push this in. Doubtful that they'll even get a tower from this on the bottom. On the lava wave coming in from Ragnaros, but the blue team easily dodges it, moves out of the way, moves in to defend their fort. It looks like the 2 towers will go down, so that's good for the red team. They're a level and a half behind now, as opposed to 2 levels. Arthas with the Syndragosa coming up to freeze that fort, trying to get something, another way of gaining some of that experience back, but between Sonya and Arthas, they're just not able to do much damage. Now that the minion wave is here, they're able to help take out that fort much quicker, and the blue team doesn't bother with rotating. They're just going to work on channeling these web reavers. The Phoenix is too late. Kael'thas picked off and dead once again, having lost his stacks. Oh, he gained the 2 stacks after dying. That's a fun way of building your stacks. Not effective at all, because every time you die you lose them, so there you go. Not good. Oh, and the red team is turning this around. Good night, Lily. A huge chase from Sonya without the polymorph there, or a stun coming in from ETC. There's nothing to reset Sonya from just chasing and chasing and chasing and healing through all of that. So great attack by the red team. They're stuffing this web reaver bout in, just stopping it in its place, and most of these will end up just kind of being in the middle of the map. ETC escapes out. 3 team members pushing on this top web reaver. You definitely don't want to lose control of this top wave, because that just opens up the boss as a win condition. Bottom wave is definitely going to get in and do some damage to this bottom keep. Red team has to do something. They are not really rotating to defend the middle. Sonya taking a not so safe rotation, and between Li Ming just says, yes please, thank you very much, and takes out Sonya. This is very much a one-sided match with 10 kills to 2 and back to a level and a half lead. Arthas goes with the Syndragos again, but there's no follow-up, no capitalizing on that slow. Arthas still going in hard. He's got his Frozen Tempest going, damaging, slowing, and there's nothing he can do. Kael'thas again trying to stack his convection stacks. He's back up to 8. That bottom lane web reaver definitely took out about a third, a little more of that bottom keep's health. Blue team still pushing down that middle lane, dealing with Rhaegar and Ragnaros. Rhaegar has to be careful, holding 25 of his team's 55 gems. Red team taking this mercenary camp underneath the nose of the blue team, and the blue team just deciding to back out, get their turn-ins back in. They're close, but they don't have enough for another turn-in, so I question the value of that last turn-in, because it really just reset the waves from what the red team had done. Had they just saved for 2 turn-ins back-to-back, they would have been looking a lot prettier in terms of lane control and map control. Vala going heavy in on that Arthas and taking him out. Rhaegar is able to pick up all of Arthas's gems, but he's going in. What are you doing, Rhaegar? What are you doing? No, get out. You've got 46 of you have all of your team's gems, all of them. You cannot afford to die at this point. Still a level, oh boy, level and 2/3 ahead the blue team is on this. The red team takes the giants in the bottom lane. Brightwing doing what she can to soak some experience, playing it a little bit safely, knowing that only one member is able to be seen at this time. Rhaegar able to find a way out while carrying those 47 gems. Blue team pressing more and more. Here we go. Brightwing just casually soaking, poking at the giants. Not a whole bunch going on. ETC is low on mana and dealing with 3 members of the red team at the moment in mid lane. Vala is going to join up. Vala actually rotating bottom. ETC scouting out some of that rotation by the red team. Sonya is not going in on anyone. She wanted to know exactly where everyone was. All in the route onto the ETC. Sonya's going in. Stun, Rain of Vengeance. The Water Dragon comes in. Syndragosa goes out. Phoenix is down, separating both teams. Kael'thas doing a great job separating 3 of the blue members from the other 2. ETC disturbing that backline. Sonya goes down to the Lily, having chased too far. Arthas is also very low, trying to get out. Ragnaros creating space with his giant flaming meatball. Kael'thas going back in, trying to scout out another convection hit. And all the time, Brightwing is turning in the last few gems that the blue team needed to get the next wave of web reavers in. Red team down 4 to 5 for the next push of these web reavers is going to make it all the more complicated to defend against. Though there's no minions available, Sonya has dropped out of the game. Hopefully she'll be back. ETC trying to get that Rhaegar out of position and capitalize on some damage. The Water Dragon goes in. He's about 2/3 health, but safe underneath his fort and Arthas and Kael'thas. There goes another one. Sonya's back. Here we go. Level 17 to level 15. 13 kills to 3. Oh boy, oh boy. Here we go. Sonya's back trying to clear that wave. Trying to help out. Brightwing getting the shots in is taking some chunks out of Ragnaros. Ragnaros going in hard. Li Ming almost secures the kill. Double stun. 3-man mosh pit. There's a kill there. At least one more. Maybe one more. No, Arthas is a little too tanky to get a follow-up kill. But 3-man mosh pit with one person walking right into it. You would have thought more than one kill would have happened. But there you go. And Ragnaros goes into his molten core. And he's clearing the wave. He's trying to disperse some of this pressure to cause a retreat. And there it goes. Oh, but here we go. Blue team with that Li Ming willing to poke some of that structures. And even the Brightwing, there you go. That's how you make some pressure happen. That bottom keep has gone down to the Web Reavers. That mid keep is still at full health, but there are no walls, no towers, nothing left to defend it outside of that well. But that's not going to end well for the red team. Kael'thas finally finishing his convection stacks nearly 15 minutes into the match. Blue team has lost their Vala, Arthas, and Kael'thas doing significant damage. Oh, into that double tap of Flame Strike. Oof. That was a huge hit from Kael'thas and a great way to say, get out of my side of the map. Rhaegar and Ragnaros taking the night camps down the middle lane. And that'll apply some pressure. The red team only needs 3 gems to turn in to get their Web Reaver and hopefully give them a little bit of space to breathe again. Rhaegar going in on Lily, trying to get her out of the way so that they can get that turn in. And there's the turn in. Great job by the red team to defend against that push, though losing a keep. They have found a way to get some space out, and they're making more down that mid lane even before the Web Reaver shows up. Web Weaver. Can I say Reaver? Web Weaver. Ragnaros going in on the flank, but ETC goes for the mosh. He gets 2. Phoenix is in on him. He's going to die. He's succumbed by the root of his own mosh pit. He sat there in a Phoenix and Flame Strike straight from KT, which is not going to feel very good at all. Vala going in on Rhaegar. Oh, but not enough damage to be done. And Ragnaros and Kael'thas end up saving Rhaegar. Arthas is up. They have 2 healthy Web Reavers moving down the top and bottom lane. The mid lane is about 20% left of its health. Arthas doing what he can to help break down this keep wall and towers. Syndragosa goes out. There is no help from the towers, the keep, or the well available for the blue team. That Web Reaver is going to go down. Arthas is sitting at 30% health, maybe 40%, and it's dropping quickly. If he stays there against Lily, he can easily get beaten down. Blue team has hit level 20. Here they go with their Talrash's elements, Rancor, Tour Bus, Storm Shield for Brightwing, and Double Dragon for Lily. Level 20 comes in for the red team. Master of Flames, Ignore Pain, Absolute Zero. What else are we getting from the red team? Somehow the red team has managed to even this up in experience and even starting to pull ahead. That top keep is going to go down from Kael'thas almost. There it goes. 5-man up. They're stuck. They're caught off on that Water Dragon from Lily, but it doesn't look like there's enough damage to follow up. Vala goes in, gets the kill on Kael'thas, so that's a great pickup by them. But she is in extreme danger. They are passing that living bomb back and forth to each other, thanks to Kael'thas's level 20 talent, and they are just getting destroyed by it. Oh my goodness, that is 2 dead for the blue team, 2 dead for the red team, and that was not a great fight for them. They were missing Li Ming almost that entire time, and the flame bomb, the living bomb, just packs back and forth, exploding several times on each other. It got huge value. Thank you, Master of Flames. Oh, living bomb spread from explosions can now also spread a living bomb. So that was just gone and gone and gone. ETC has dropped out of the game. Hopefully he'll be back. And the red team finds that this is a good time to start the boss, but they're going to get hit by the stomp. Rhaegar's up there. They're both low on health, and Ancestral comes out. Probably not too early, but I don't know if it was needed at this point. And Sonya's there to help out. So 3 men beating on the boss. No pressure whatsoever from the blue team. Blue team trying to stop the bleeding. They're going to focus on starting that camp. Brightwing soaking the mid lane. Li Ming doing her best to help with that. But now there's a boss tromping down the top lane where it is now a considerable win condition 19 minutes into the match, and there is no keep to stop it from just marching to the core. However, the red team finds it is more worthwhile to try and pick off that Brightwing in the mid lane. ETC and Li Ming finally cleaning up that night camp and claiming it for the blue team. Vala and Brightwing doing what they can to take some damage and some health off of the boss. ETC is returned back. That boss is not going to get much value whatsoever. It'll clear up a wave. It's already sub 50% health, and it's not even going to clear the shields on the core. So in this case, it is used as a much more defensive technique. Excuse me. The red team, low on health, they decide to call it back. Not going to try. They will, however, get their web reavers now, so that was enough space and time for them to get enough gems to pick up their web reavers. And with these lanes pushed in on the mid and the top, they have a considerable option for ending the game if they can get a pick or two. And considering again that there is no keep in the top lane and that mid lane is about half health, there is a good chance that the red team, if they secure an early kill, they might be able to come back and capture this win. And these web reavers 20 minutes into the game are no joke. They have scaled up considerably, and here they go pushing 3, 4. It looks like Sonya's going to join them for 5 down the middle. 3 people trying to deal with the web reaver on the top, as it is the current win condition and the biggest threat to the core. They clear it up, no problem. Rotate to the mid lane. No one is rotating to the bottom lane as that web weaver is so far out still. Not much damage coming in from the red team to push in with that web weaver. That's unfortunate. I feel like that was a missed opportunity to get that keep. Ragnaros splitting to soak to push the top in, creating a little bit of chaos. And there's the molten core. Is it really that beneficial and not helping the team much? And he is in a bad position as soon as he comes out from this. Vala and ETC right there. But he's going to deliver some big damage onto Vala, a little bit of damage onto ETC, and now he gets out, delivers the damage. It causes some problems. Nothing too terrible or too effective or too helpful for the red team, but then the red team threatens to push in from the mid lane, but it goes nowhere. So now we have a 5-on-4 in that mid lane. Ragnaros still not repositioned to deal with any pressure from the blue team. ETC goes in, he gets stunned after casting Mosh Pit, so he has lost that. That is gone for quite a while. That is a big stun coming out from KT to help save his team. Right now would have been a great time for Ragnaros to have had that molten core, but he used it in kind of in a suboptimal way. Now we've kind of reset for now with the blue team having more than enough gems to get a turn in, closing in. Well, not quite. They're not quite ready to start talking about 2 turn-ins at a time. Red team is going to get their turn-in done. No, it's just Arthas hanging out looking for a pick or trying to stop someone from rotating. They will get 1 camp. Kael'thas positioned to try and take that night camp, but got no support, so maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there. Not wanting to use that quite yet, but they are quite afraid of the blue team getting a turn in. So Arthas, Kael'thas, and Ragnaros lay in wait for an attack from the blue team to hopefully get a flank and a pick. Sonya backs off. Looks like she's gonna rotate off to take care of that night camp. Kael'thas is going to go with her. Arthas, Ragnaros still just hanging out with Rhaegar, and they're hiding. They're waiting for the blue team. The blue team is just going to take this opportunity, push out the waves, equalize that experience. They have nothing to worry about. Red team has claimed the night camp. Rhaegar is out of position, and he gets blown up. way too far out, nowhere he could go to save him. And that living bomb is still spreading. Well, it looks like it's stopped now, but Arthas is down. Arthas and Rhaegar lost in that last little fight. Oh, and there goes Sonya. Oh no, 3 people down. Long respawn timers coming in. The blue team has to defend against the night camp, otherwise they will lose that middle keep. They have enough gems for that turn-in, but I think they're just waiting to push out the lanes and defend against the knights before they go in and claim it. But 3 people down this late in the game. Oh boy, they have to worry about the lanes now. They have to get their Web Reaver turn-in. Web Weaver. I think I keep saying Web Reaver. Oh no, Ragnaros caught off by stuns and some big damage by ETC and Lily, and he's going to go down. Last man standing for the red team for the time being is Kael'thas, sitting at about half health. He has to run away. There's no way he can stop this turn-in, and there it is. Li Ming doing her best to clear the lane of this double catapult wave pushing in. She'll do it just fine before any significant damage is done to the shield or the core's health. The red team respawning slowly. They finally have the first 2 that were picked off, and Kael'thas defending underneath the keep. Arthas and Rhaegar going out to try and meet this night camp, as well as the Web Reaver as quickly as possible, as that one's the furthest one that's been pushed out. Sonya comes in to help do the cleanup on this. Syndragosa used quite early. I'm not quite sure why, but it burned down the Web Weaver in the mid lane has been burned down very quickly. The top lane is looking a little bit weaker, but the bot lane hitting about the same position as the top lane with a little bit more health. The bottom lane is getting burned down by Rhaegar and Sonya. Not much pressure coming in for the lane that has already lost its keep. The catapult is going to help provide some pressure against this top lane Web Weaver, but it's still going to require some players to come in and do some cleanup. And there it is. Web Weaver lanes cleared. Not a whole lot to worry about, but everything is now pushed back to the red team side. Boss is available for anyone to capture. Red team slowly peeking out, trying to look at some experience or catch someone off. Oh, a 3-man root from Arthas. Double flame strike. Oh, beautiful teleport from Li Ming. Oh, 4-man wash from ETC, but there's no follow-up enough follow-up from Vala to get the Kael'thas. Lava wave in the middle. That is just melting the blue team. Oh my goodness, there goes Brightwing, there goes Vala. There goes ETC, and there is no way Lily escapes this from Sonya, and there she goes. That's a 4-for-1? 4-for-1 rotation. Kael'thas with the big damage on 2 members, or on 1 member, and it forced Li Ming out of the fight. Eventually still just chased down, and she's able to retreat, but she was the sole survivor of her team. And from a game that was looking so far out of control from the very beginning, the red team has come back though. Arthas has died. Li Ming is there. She's going to escape. And that Sonya has taken some significant damage, but between Rhaegar, Ragnaros, and Sonya, it looks like she is able to defend this, though. The core will take damage. Still sitting at 100%. Here comes the Molten Core by Ragnaros, and big damage. Is he able to land anything? Oh, he lands a stun. Rhaegar goes in. He's going to get some damage. Oh, Li Ming unable to dodge the wolf strike from Rhaegar. She is gone. Oh, it's a base race. There were some catapults onto the red team's core, taking out 48% of that health, but there Sonya, Rhaegar dead, 55% health left on the blue team's core. Oh my goodness, so much has happened. Four members up for the blue team, only 4 members dead for the red team. These are long spawn timers at 27 minutes in, and everyone is doing some pretty significant damage. The lava wave coming in to help push that middle minion wave through to do some damage. The blue team is opting to go for a boss play here, even though they had 4 members of the red team down. They had a lane pushed pretty far up in that bottom lane. I don't know why they made this call. There's still 3 members down. They had almost had enough for web weavers and for a lane push forward. I question this call, but they've got the boss call coming in. 28-minute boss is nothing to scoff at, so that should be quite a bit of power coming then, and it will ease the pressure off of the top lane, leaving only the middle lane as the lane that the red team can successfully push with in case they win a team fight. Blue team captured the boss and is now running back to clear lanes. They are playing this exceptionally safe, hoping that the boss can gain some value with how much health and how much damage it does, but 20% has already been taken off, almost 30%, 30%, 40%, 50%. That boss has gotten very little done for the blue team. It's down to about 20% health, and it is gone. Only a little bit of damage on the top keep. Only about half health, so it's not terrible, but it was also enough time, and the lane pressed in to get... the lane wasn't even pressed in. There's still 2 minion waves that the web weaver will have to fight through. That boss just didn't do anything to really help. It was more of a safety. I think the blue team was concerned about the red team going for it and having that as a guaranteed win condition fight under them. So blue team, having fallen 43% to 42% on their cores, everything looked great for them early. Late, things are looking a little crazy for them. They need to settle down and get back into it. Red team grouping up together, clearing out that middle web weaver, no problem whatsoever. The bottom one is also going to be cleared up, no problem. The whole blue team is in the top lane, pushing and pushing and pushing. They are not trying to hide anyone. Everyone knows that they're there. The red team is coming in behind the keep to hopefully defend against it, but this web weaver is sitting a little over half health, about half health now. Syndragosa comes out, gains no value other than maybe a little bit of damage. Ancestral comes out. I didn't see his health, but it did not look like he was missing that much. More of a prevented. There's the mosh pit. Oh, and the tour bus. Oh, the Sonya was thought to be a confirmed kill, but it did not happen, and so he slid onto Kael'thas, stopped some damage, stopped some of the bleeding, but it did not actually guarantee that kill either. Ragnaros goes into Molten Core, and he's providing some heavy artillery for his team to push the blue team out. Blue team spreading that living bomb again and again. And there's some big damage. Vala needs to get out. She's suffering poison damage. She's suffering fire damage. Whoa. Wowee. No one has died at this point, but everyone's used their abilities. There's a Molten Core that's come down. There's a Lava Wave that's constantly being used. Kael'thas, I don't know if Kael'thas dropped his Phoenix. He did. Oh no, it just was not available. Only one ultimate mosh pit was used on the side of the blue team. But Blink and Disintegrate are really low cooldown. So, and Rain of Vengeance probably has multiple charges. No, just one charge for this. But both were used, and all of those were used. And Rain of Vengeance, being a 50-second cooldown, may not have been available for that last fight. Or Vala just never found a good spot to use it. Whew. This match is going on a lot longer than I thought. I thought the blue team would have been able to wrap this up. Night Camp versus Night Camp, closer on the blue side. Fort that has been long since demolished. Oh, oh my goodness, big team fight coming in the back lane, or the between lane, between the middle and the bottom lane. Lily has died. Vala throwing out some crazy damage onto Arthas, takes him down, and just constant stutter step. Though Vala is going to be taken down by Sonya, who is just relentless in her chase. That is 2 members of the blue team dead. What? Oh, I missed it. I missed it. Triple catapult wave was just pressuring the whole thing. You'll have to excuse me for a second while I rewind. We have to see this. We'll go back about 2 minutes. Okay, we're back here. Here we are. Happy 43%. Blue team has their web weavers cleaned up by the red team. Cleaned up by the red team. The blue team, the red team, the blue team has this pressed really far forward. Really need to make that cough button. Okay, how did this happen? We have to see this because I completely missed this. I was not at all aware that this was coming out. So that we had this fight. It was a long drawn out one. There's Sinjagosa. There's Disintegrate. There's Water Dragon. There's the Ancestral. There's the Leap coming in. Okay. The Blink Heal's going out. There's the Mosh Pit. The fact that Sonya survives this is huge for the red team. And that the ETC Mosh Pit really had no value other than to pressure Sonya out. Though had ETC stayed there, they probably would have been able to confirm the kill on Sonya. Here we go. This is apparently the beginning of the end. The blue team gets out. They spread the living bomb a little more. They just like burning for fun. Arthas taking significant damage, almost loses it. He heals himself up. Okay, red team. Here we go. No one's dead. No one's dead on the blue team. Blue team retreating back, clearing that mid lane. They're terrified of it. There's a huge wave there, but no catapults there. So here comes a catapult wave here. Red team goes in for their knights. The blue team is going to go for their knights. We've got a minion wave and 2 catapults coming up. By the time this clash resolves, this wave with the 3rd catapult will have shown up. 5-man rotate to take the giants. Great. Nice and easy. No big deal. We have knights here. We're coming back here for the clash of the knight camps in between the at the mid lane, just in front of what was the location of the blue team's fort. Now here we go. Here's where it happens. Lily rotates out of position, way out on her own. Water Dragon, Phoenix, Ragnaros, Arthas just blows her up. Back to the Ancestral, back to the... And here we go. That wave resolves, and it's just triple catapults. 32 minutes in. These catapults are massive, and they just chunk through the shields. Each one doing about 6%. Yeah. Wow. Mismanagement of assets and a loss of focus on the blue team trying to take a fight that they really didn't need, and Lily kind of throwing the game there. Not a safe rotation by any means, and then just getting caught out by Arthas and Ragnaros. I think there was a little bit of chip damage done by Kael'thas, but my goodness, that was not how I expected that match to end. Wow. Oh boy. And if we go back, can I look at the... Yeah, here we go. We'll look at the stats. Let's see who did their job. I was really impressed with the Vala. 6 deaths, so that's kind of unacceptable. Though with the dot damage here, she doesn't have a whole lot she can do against that. Though double support, I would have expected her to live a lot longer between constant heals, a serpent, and Brightwing being able to speed her up to get out of there. Li Ming clearly doing some great siege damage and some great hero damage. Vala just accelerating over time to do that damage. Kael'thas, 6 deaths real early, resetting his convection stacks over and over. Eventually the blue team's miscoordination and team fights just spread that living bomb a whole lot. At Ragnaros, 362,000 siege damage and 35,000 experience soaked. 5 deaths. This was a bloody fight. The blue team outscoring in kills 26-16. Wow. That's a huge number of deaths to be a part and to still win this. Wow. Oh man, we got to sort this by siege damage. Where's the breakdown? Breakdown is right here. So apparently it's not all about kills, and it's not all about siege damage. Man, oh man. Even that Brightwing doing a great job of contributing experience, sitting there 3rd place overall. Great split to it, but it looks like the blue team fell short on hero damage, with 4 to 3 members being in the top 7, and ETC Brightwing just not able to pick up. Rhaegar kind of falling behind. I mean, below Brightwing on hero damage and on siege damage considerably. But you know what? Look at those heals. And Brightwing, Rhaegar kept up with each other quite nicely. Brightwing doing a great job staying alive. Was Brightwing the MVP? She was the MVP, so that's quite impressive, considering how much damage was thrown out, considering how long of a match that was, and considering that her team died 16 times compared to the Rhaegar's 26 times. Man. Kael'thas really came in to save his team. I feel like the strength of his living bombs really kicked off at 20, and his team was finally able to fight at that point. Ragnaros had some great lava waves. A misuse of his molten core earlier in the match could have been saved for another team fight and really made a bigger difference than the previous one had been used. Arthas cleaning up. I mean, out damaging. Let's see, where is Arthas on his team damage? So more than Sonya, which is surprising to me considering he also went for the level 1 Rhyme, and just I guess he was just there around. He was more around longer in team fights because 5 deaths to 7 tells me that they were basically in all the same fights. Just he was able to survive and walk away and keep poking. Oh my goodness, red team, hard fought and well earned, but blue team, you also kind of threw it. I wasn't sure about this comp, especially double support, and then Vala Li Ming being quite squishy. There was no dive onto, not enough dive late game onto Kael'thas to get him out of the match, out of the fight early. I mean, you saw that last mosh from ETC catch Sonya, but they never confirmed the kill, and without that kill confirmed, the red team is able to rotate as they did and then just blow up Lili. Had they been 4 instead of 5, I'm not sure that the red team would have positioned as aggressively. But they were 5 instead of 4, and they weren't able to follow up on any damage on the Kael'thas after ETC used the tour bus. That's disappointing. They were so close. The blue team really had a lot stronger of a beginning and even mid game. But as Kael'thas started getting power and Ragnaros, Sonya, it just became too much for the 2 healers to deal with, and not enough damage for the damage dealers on that team to help out with. And ETC's mosh pits were ultimately only rendered to 1 or 2 kills. So not a whole lot of value out of that, unfortunately, because there was the stun from Sonya, there's a stun from Kael'thas, there would have been, I guess there wasn't any stun from Arthas, there was the root only. Oh man, brutal. What a brutal way to lose. And 30 some minutes in. Harsh. Anyways, that's game 2. See y'all next time.